Well, hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It is so great to be with all of you here today. Yes. Can you believe that this is Thursday? I can hardly believe that today is Thursday. This has been amazing. We are in our fifth year. We've been on the air already, guys. Well, well over 4 years and going very, very strong. So I'm grateful to all of you. If this is your very first time joining me, I want to say welcome. And of course, I want to say thank you for joining me. If you've been here many times before, we'll definitely want to say thank you and welcome back. It was great to have people that enjoy the quality and content of the show that I produce. I really do appreciate every single one of you and for making this great because without you guys, I couldn't do it. I could not do it without you guys. So really, really very grateful. All right. So without any further ado, I want to kick this off, but I do want to let you know that if you are, for whatever reason, let's say you are, I don't know, let's say you're hungry or maybe you're thirsty or something like that, feel free to grab something and come on back to the show. Don't forget to check out believemeachieve.com, of course, for more of my amazing, inspiring creations, which are available 24 hours a day. A little heads up for you guys. I know some of you have been following my book. Again, I'm not sharing what's in the book just yet. I want that to be a surprise. But I do want to let you know that I have just completed writing my sixth chapter, and I'll be starting my seventh probably tomorrow. And every chapter has what I call a pause and reflect, where I ask usually anywhere from 2 to 4 questions. And there's an optional activity. So it's really going to be a great book. I'm excited about it. It's coming up probably late May or to early June. And you are not going to want to miss it. It tells some priceless lessons of my life and how I've changed and how it really helped me to make some positive growth in my life. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, thanks so much for joining me. Let's go ahead and kick this show off right now. You're tuned, in case you didn't know, to Inspirations for Your Life. Yeah. So welcome, everyone, to Inspirations for Your Life. I'm John Morley, serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, keynote speaker, graduate student, and a passionate lifelong learner. And pretty soon, guys, yes, a published author. So, yeah, it is great to be here with all of you on this wonderful show. So again, I say thank you. Today's episode is titled Alignment. Yeah, it's titled Alignment. And I think the important thing about that is it's between, it's between the words and the actions. And in this particular episode, we're going to go into how ensuring your words match your actions. Because it creates credibility, trust, and unstoppable momentum. And that's what we all want here, don't we? Alignment between what you say and what you do is a foundation for confidence, clarity, and intentional living. So let's kick this off, everyone. Are you ready? I know you are. Section 1, I kind of break these now into different sections, and then I put points in the sections. It's about credibility and trust. So alignment creates, ladies and gentlemen, it creates credibility, and a trust forms. And it grows when words match the actions. I know a lot of people that do something and then their words don't match the actions, and then it doesn't really help their reputation. Actually, kind of kicks it in the bud. So number 2, words matter less than the follow through. Don't worry about having the exact right words. Worry about the fact when you tell somebody you're going to do something that you're going to follow through, that people can count on you. So words matter less than the follow through. Results speak louder, and that's important to understand than the promises. So if you've done something for somebody and you made a promise, the results is what matters. And the fact that you've made the choice to help these people, that you follow through, you're like, oh, I want to watch TV tonight, or I want to go out with some friends. No, you've decided to be committed. And that's something that is priceless in this world. Number 3, guys, consistency builds trust. Repeat actions reinforce reliability. And number 4, alignment reduces stress. What you say matches what you do internally and, of course, externally. I don't know if you know that, but that's a key trait for a lot of people. And they don't understand why they don't align sometimes. Number 5, Actions confirm values. Your behavior reflects, guys, your priorities every single day. And I think that's another thing that a lot of people just don't get in life, that your priorities are key, and how it shows up in the world. Number 6, integrity shows in behavior. People notice when actions align with principles. If you're doing something to put on a show, and I don't mean a podcast show, or I mean a show in public, and you really don't have that kind of life, and you're not really concerned about helping people, or you're not really concerned about what you're saying, you're going to fall flat, and people are going to see right through you. I'm just going to be honest. Number 7, guys, alignment simplifies communication. Clarity prevents misunderstanding. And I think that's another big one for a lot of us to understand. Consistency strengthens identity. Repeat actions shape who you are. And I think that's a really, really big one. Action validates intention. Doing proves your commitments are real. Alignment builds confidence. Knowing your words and your actions match empowers self-belief. And that's a real important one. Part 2 is about momentum and influence, guys. Behavior reveals priorities. Actions show what truly matters to you. Consistency, number 12, creates momentum. Yes, it does. It creates momentum. Small repeat actions compound in progress. You might not think that one little thing is going to make a difference, but I want to tell you something. It will make a difference, because you see, what people don't see about you, okay, actually shows up when they see you. Let me explain that. So if you're being a certain way in your private life, and you have that kind of attitude, right? You have that kind of dedication, that commitment, that shows up in the public world. Yeah, that's important to know. So consistency creates momentum. Small repeat actions compound in progress. Very similar to the way you'd compound money in a bank account, right? It might not happen to be a big amount of money in a few days, but when you forget about it and you look back, it's like, oh my gosh, look at what's happening. That's pretty cool. So when we think about the fact that our actions, the tiny actions we take, but even if they're small, as long as they're consistent and they are from the heart, they are from our core, we're going to go somewhere. We're definitely going to be successful. Number 13, alignment reduces friction. Internal and external consistency minimize conflict. Wow, that's a lot. So conflict shows up when we can't get where we want to go. Conflict happens because maybe we get demotivated. Maybe somebody says something to us. I had someone the other day. My content is very viral, as a lot of you guys know. And I got a comment from somebody in one of the chats telling me, "Oh, your content is terrible." I let that roll and didn't say anything. So, like, one person thing that I shouldn't post, and I got like 689 people like just responding back. You don't know what you're talking about. His content is great. And so sometimes it's important to be silent, because when you're silent, you're not trying to get anything. And I wasn't trying to win anything here. Not the fact that I was also a top, I was given a badge of top, what do you want to call it? I think it's top creator, top poster in the group. They have like rising. They have like, world. I had world was the one I got, which is the really high one. And I just thought it was interesting. So a lot of people will rain on your parade. You know why? Because they get jealous when you are starting to get action, when you're starting to get traction. People think that it's okay for them to just knock on your parade and try to make you quit. But you're too smart for that. And when you show up with your true, authentic self, other people will be there to support you. Don't you worry. Number 14, actions builds belief. Doing reinforces your values in your mind and others' perception. And I think that's a very important thing to understand that. Follow through, guys. Number 15, creates respect, reliability. It earns admiration, and it earns trust. And I think a lot of people don't understand what trust is, but trust is basically, let's think of it as the signal that tells people you're okay to work with, you're okay to be with. I don't want to use the word normal because nobody's normal, but it lets people know that you give a darn and that you're a pretty humane person, right? Number 16, guys, alignment builds reliability. Consistency and follow through are predictable. So when somebody's consistent, somebody follows through, you have a very low chance that there's going to be a problem. In other words, you've mitigated the fact that there's going to be practically no risk, well, maybe a 0.1% risk. Okay. Number 17, guys, consistency stabilizes progress, and repeated aligned actions sustain momentum. Repeated actions, not just one action. Number 18, actions clarify direction. What you do shows the path forward clearly every single day of your life, every single day, not just one day. And that's an important thing to understand. Number 19, alignment improves execution. Matching words with deeds streamlines results. Matching your words with your deeds. So if you say, hey, you're great, or you give somebody a compliment, but then, you actually badmouth them, or, you suddenly don't help them anymore. That's a double-edged sword. And what happens is you think you're trying to, let's say, get over on them, but what you're really doing, you're hurting yourself, guys. You see, when you hurt others, you hurt yourself. It's like a boomerang. We've talked about this, well, over 4 years ago, we talked about this. Whatever you do, you send it out to the universe and it comes right back to you. If you send out good, then good comes back to you. So I want you to understand that alignment improves execution, matching words with the deeds, because what you put out, I promise you, will come back tenfold. Number 20, guys, behavior shapes reputation. Others see your character through, well, your actions. They see it through your actions. And I think that's an important piece, when people can know that your reputation is being shaped by the behavior for which you elicit. You might say, gee, John, what is it one time if I behave rudely or wrongly? Well, it's that habit. And so let me give you an example. How many of you out there drive? Okay. How many of you out there wear a seatbelt? Okay. Now, I want to ask you something. Those that don't wear a seatbelt, why don't you? Is it because, well, you're lazy? Is it because, well, you want to go through that extra, entire 3 or 5 seconds to put a belt on? You feel that, you drive really well and nothing's ever going to happen to you. Maybe you do. I drive well too, but it's still important to protect yourself. And I think a lot of people don't realize, what that means. So you get in the car or your truck or your van or whatever, and you don't put the belt on. And then you just keep driving. Now, it becomes a habit. And I can tell you what got me into always wanting to wear the seatbelt. Because when I first started driving years ago, seatbelt was not like paramount on my list. But a relative of my family got hurt, and they almost lost their life because they weren't wearing their seatbelt. That rang a lot of bells in my head and said, wait a minute, John. You need to take 5 seconds out, or 10 seconds, whatever it is, and put the darn belt on, okay, before you get in the car. Now, sometimes I get in the car, and if I'm backing up in the park, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm backing up. I got to quick put my belt on. But I realize it, and I correct it. A lot of people just don't wear their belt because they've gotten into the bad habit of not wanting to wear a seatbelt. And thus, that behavior stays with them time and time again. So behavior shapes the reputation, and others will see you through the character of the actions for which you elicit. The actions for today are actually coming because of the thoughts that you put yesterday and the days before. You might say, John, oh, I don't have to prove anything. I'm not telling you to prove anything to somebody. I'm saying you're showing yourself disrespect. You're saying to me, hey, John, I don't have enough value that I need to put a seatbelt on. Like, my life's not that valuable. And I want to ask you, why? Have you not taken time to be grateful for at least 2 or 3 things? I'm sure there's things in your life that you're grateful for. But think about you not putting a seatbelt on. And now think about the fact that because you didn't put a seatbelt on, you may not be able to ever see those people again. Just saying. I hope that never happens to anybody. But why do we want to get into that predicament? Seatbelts save lives. So put your darn seatbelt on, okay? Number 21, guys. Consistency compounds trust. People rely on repeated aligned behavior. When something comes in and it's repeated, it becomes trusted, okay? It's relied upon. It's like the old golden standard, right? Why do people always, let's say, think back to a lot of, let's say, neighbors that have been here from years to come, from many years ago? It's because they know that they did things the old-fashioned way, which was not the hustle and bustle, which was, we can shake a hand to do a deal. Today, how many times do you do a deal and shake a hand? I know myself, not that many. There's a few, but not that many. Everything's got to be inked, dotted, and signed or e-signed. People are too in a rush. People are concerned about the dollar, which again is not bad, but we have to first realize the value we put forth to get the dollar. And do it with integrity. Number 22, guys. Alignment builds authority. Steady principles demonstrate leadership. Yeah, steady principles. Not the ones you just do today or do tomorrow. I'm talking about being steady. What are some leadership principles? Listening. How about giving support for your peers or colleagues or employees? Giving support, letting them know that their voice is welcome, regardless of their job title. You don't hear that in too many companies. Number 23, action, guys, reinforces identity. Doing what you say strengthens self-definition. Doing what you say. I'm going to give you guys an example. So you guys know I'm writing a book. And so for a while, I wanted to write another book. But then something hit me and I said, you know what? I can write that book later, but there's a reason I'm not writing that first book. Not because it's harder, but because I need to get the story out that I need to share with the world first. Then I can share other stories. And that was a lesson that I guess I didn't want to learn. I figured, well, if I can't write this book, I don't want to write any book. And I said, you know what? All right, universe, you want me to write that other book? I'm going to write that other book. And I'll tell you something. I'm even learning more about myself and becoming more grateful. So I think you're going to really like the book anyway. So actions reinforce identity, and doing what you say strengthens self-definition, not just with your friends, not just with your personal relationships, but even strangers. You might be at a supermarket, okay? And you're asking somebody to give you 2 minutes or to hold something for you, or you'll be right back. If you do what you say, not only are they going to be happy, but now they're more inclined to probably want to do something for someone else. If you didn't live up to what you said, that might close the door for someone else that might need the help. Number 24, alignment removes doubt. Matching actions and words builds certainty. Internally, guys, and externally. That's the key, guys. Internally and externally. And remember what I said. Nothing comes on the outside that first hasn't been built on the inside. See, people think that our lives are created by the outside world. No. It's created by our core values, by our inside world. And those things percolate out to the outside world. It doesn't always show up immediately. But you'll notice if you observe and you pay attention, maybe journal it, you're like, oh, wait a minute. I see what John's saying. I never realized that before. Okay. Number 25, consistency builds strength. Repeat actions reinforce resilience. So not even just talking now about being somebody people trust, but resilience in the fact that you have the fortitude, you have the action, the stamina to be able to keep going on. I think that's an amazing thing. And, people always ask me, John, how do you get all this stuff done? And I'll tell you one thing, I'm very grateful for, for God and for the Lord and for letting him carry out my message with, today being the second day of Lent. Again, not to make this a religious show, but I am very grateful. And I want to tell you, so it's 40 days and 40 nights. So yesterday, which was Wednesday, I went to church very early in the morning, got ashes. It was like 7:30 mass. I think we were out of there by a little bit after 8, not even. And then I was also serving as Eucharistic minister. And I can tell you that if you just do this as an action to impress others, well, you're really hurting yourself. If you do it and say, gee, I'm doing this because I want to do it, I believe in the Lord, I believe in God, then you got a different story going on there. There was another thing I want to share, which was a reading Father said, and it was a very interesting reading, and you probably heard something like this before, and he said, when you're giving alms, do it in secret. What your Father sees and knows about in secret, he will repay in public. That's a pretty priceless thing, guys. Number 26, behavior confirms self-respect. Living your values earns internal validation. But don't think this is going to happen at the snap or the drop of a hat. It won't. It's going to take you getting on board with who you are and then noticing how those things show up in the world. Because I'll be honest, the first time I tried this was like, oh boy, this is going to be a rough road. Because people were trying to get me to go back in my old way. They were trying to get me in a state where they could manipulate me. And I'm like, no, that's not happening. That's important. Number 27. Alignment creates flow consistency between thought, word, and action. It produces smooth results, guys. Smooth results, not just results like one time. It becomes a continuum that we can be grateful for. Number 28, action strengthens integrity. Following through ensures personal authenticity. Now, we've heard before on the internet like crypto, and we've heard about other things like non-fungible tokens and things like that. And the whole thing about being authentic is authentic about something that's more money. Well, I'm not going to talk about money for a minute. I want to talk about value. And each and every one of you has a value, whether you're trying to get money for it, whether you're just trying to get respect. When you start to appreciate and know what your value is, do you know what happens? People around you are like, oh, wait a minute. This is something that I actually get. That's important, guys. Really important. All right. Number 29, guys. Number 29. And that is consistency. Consistency creates calm, predictable, aligned actions, and they reduce internal conflict. Now, when things are calm, you might think that you don't have power. You're not a dictator. You don't need to be a dictator. You can be a quiet leader, okay, who has a big stick but never uses it. People have developed a respect for you. They know that when, they, let's say, hang you out to dry or they talk against you, well, you're gonna call them out politely on the carpet. Maybe not in front of the whole group, but you're going to call them out and you're going to make them either make sure that doesn't happen again, or you're going to say, I think we're done. I mean, I think that's the problem. A lot of people don't like to hear the word we're done or it's over, right? When you say the words it's over, 99% of the time, there's no going back. And people that think they can manipulate you, and they can, you haven't shown enough value and you haven't shown enough respect for who you are. Don't let other people manipulate you, okay? Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. No, don't allow that crap. Please don't. You're worth more than that. Number 30, alignment builds momentum, and the combination of words and actions propel results forward. That's powerful. So we're talking about a lot here tonight. Alignment, core values, your value as a person. And I'm not just saying what you're worth per hour or your net worth. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your value as a person. And when somebody exploits your value as a person, do you know what happens? You've got to politely call them on the carpet about that. And if they did it accidentally, it's one thing, and they'll probably apologize. But if they keep doing it, you're like, hey, you remember what we had that conversation? Oh, yeah. And then they don't do anything. Okay, well, I don't want to work with you anymore, or this isn't working out, or, I'm not getting the respect. Well, wait a minute. I promise. Okay, I'm going to give you one more shot. Okay. And you can apologize, but if you do it again, we're done. And what I mean by done, let's make sure you understand what the rules are. Because if you don't understand what the rules are, then you have no chance of even possibly staying and hanging with me. Number 4, guys, section is closing what we're doing tonight. And it's all about thoughts and alignment between the words and the actions. It's the cornerstone of not just a building, but of your credibility, of your confidence, of your leadership. And every choice to act in line with your stated values builds trust, clarity, and momentum. By living intentionally and ensuring your actions match your words, you strengthen your influence, you stabilize progress, and you create freedom in your decisions. Wow. Remember, guys, consistency, alignment, and integrity are more than principles. They are tools for unstoppable personal growth and professional life changes. Be sure, ladies and gentlemen, to please check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. You can get my short form and my long form content available, which is 24 hours a day, 24/7, 365 days a year, to help you master alignment, clarity, intentional living, and so much more. Just go ahead and check out BelieveMeAchieve.com. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised and glad that you did. Because if it just helps you improve one area of your life, I think it's worth checking it out. Have yourself a great one, everyone. Stay aligned. And remember, your value needs to be known. Don't undervalue yourself, because if you do, people will let you. Have a great one, everyone. Be well.